In a quiet Chicago alley, a group of arrogant bullies thought they had an easy target in Kofi, a lone black teenager, unaware that he and his twin sister, Kemi, were karate champions whose skills would turn the tables in a moment that stunned everyone. Kofi and Kemi Jackson, 17-year-old twins, had grown up in Chicago's South Side, navigating its challenges with discipline and focus. Both were black belt karate champions, having trained since age 6 at a local dojo under Sensei Marcus Reed, a former national competitor. Their parents, both educators, instilled in them a sense of pride and resilience, but also caution. Chicago's streets could be unforgiving, especially for black teens. On a warm September evening in 2023, Kofi found himself alone, walking home from the dojo after Kemi left early for a study group. He carried his gym bag, his GI folded inside, his mind on an upcoming tournament. The trouble started near a corner store on 63rd Street, a block known for its rough edges. Three young men, all in their late teens, spotted Kofi as he passed under a flickering streetlight. They were part of a loose crew that hung around the area, known for harassing passers-by to assert their dominance. The leader, a lanky 19-year-old named Derek, had a reputation for picking fights with anyone who looked vulnerable. His two friends, Malik and Chris, followed his lead, their laughter loud and taunting as they noticed Kofi walking alone. "Yo, look at this guy," Derek called out, stepping into Kofi's path. "What's in the bag, man? You lost or something?" Kofi, trained to stay calm, kept his eyes forward and tried to sidestep. "Just heading home," he said evenly. "Don't want trouble." Derek wasn't having it. He moved closer, blocking Kofi's way, while Malik and Chris fanned out, forming a loose circle. "You don't belong here," Derek said, his voice dripping with mockery. "Hand over the bag, and maybe we let you walk." Kofi's heart raced, but his training kicked in. Breathe, assess, stay composed. He knew he could defend himself, but he also knew the risks of escalating a situation in this neighborhood. "I'm not giving you anything," he said firmly, his stance relaxed but ready. The bullies laughed, mistaking his calmness for weakness. Malik shoved Kofi's shoulder, testing him. "What you gonna do about it?" he taunted. Chris chimed in. "Man, he's soft. Let's take his stuff and go." Unbeknownst to the group, Kemi had finished her study session early and was heading to meet Kofi, as they often walked home together. She was only a block away when she saw the confrontation unfolding. Her instincts, honed by years of sparring with her brother, told her to stay out of sight, but close enough to intervene if needed. She slipped behind a parked car, her phone in hand, ready to call for help but also prepared to step in. Kofi, sensing the situation was deteriorating, tried one last time to de-escalate. "Look, I don't want to fight," he said. "Just let me pass." Derek smirked, stepping closer. "Too late for that," he said, and swung a fist toward Kofi's face. Kofi's training took over. He sidestepped the punch with ease, his body moving with the fluid precision of a black belt. Before Derek could react, Kofi grabbed his arm, twisted it behind his back, and swept his legs, sending him to the ground in a controlled takedown. Malik and Chris froze, stunned by the speed of Kofi's response. "Stay back," Kofi warned, his voice steady but firm. Malik, recovering, rushed forward, aiming a wild swing. Kofi ducked, delivering a quick strike to Malik's midsection, just enough to knock the wind out of him. Chris hesitated, then lunged, but Kofi blocked the attack and pinned him against a wall, his forearm pressing lightly but firmly against Chris's chest. "I said, stay back," Kofi repeated, his eyes locked on Chris's. At that moment, Kemi stepped out from her hiding spot. "Kofi, you good?" she called, her voice calm but authoritative. The bullies, already reeling, turned to see her standing there, her posture mirroring Kofi's, confident, ready. Derek, scrambling to his feet, muttered, "Who's this now?" Kemi didn't flinch.
"His sister," she said.
"And you're done here." The sight of the twins, both poised and unafraid, shifted the dynamic. The bullies, realizing they were outmatched, backed off, their bravado crumbling. Derek spat on the ground, trying to save face. "Whatever, man. You're lucky we're letting this go." Kofi released Chris, who stumbled back, and the three retreated, their footsteps fading into the night. Kemi and Kofi didn't linger. They walked home quickly, checking over their shoulders, knowing the encounter could have ended differently. At home, they told their parents, who were both proud and concerned. Their father, James, a high school principal, urged them to report the incident to the police, but Kofi and Kemi hesitated, wary of escalating tensions in the neighborhood. Instead, they confided in Sensei Reed the next day at the dojo. Reed, a mentor who had seen too many kids face similar situations, praised their restraint, but insisted they document everything. "You did what you were trained to do. Protect yourself without causing harm," he said. "But this isn't over. Those guys might come back." Word of the incident spread through the dojo, where Kofi and Kemi were well respected for their skill and discipline. A younger student, who had overheard the story, shared it on social media, posting about how the Jackson twins took down some bullies with karate. The post included a photo of Kofi and Kemi in their GIs, taken at a recent tournament, and it quickly gained traction. By the next afternoon, local news outlets had picked up the story, framing it as a tale of self-defense and empowerment. A reporter reached out to the twins, who agreed to an interview after discussing it with their parents. Kofi explained how his training helped him stay calm, while Kemi emphasized the importance of standing up to intimidation without resorting to violence. The story resonated widely, especially in Chicago's Black community, where many saw the twins as symbols of resilience. Community leaders invited them to speak at a youth event, where they shared their experiences and encouraged others to find strength through discipline, whether in martial arts or other pursuits. The bullies, identified through the viral post, faced scrutiny. Derek, it turned out, was on probation for a prior offense, and the incident prompted a visit from his parole officer. Malik and Chris, humiliated by the public attention, kept a low profile, their crew's influence in the neighborhood diminished. The twins' dojo saw a surge in enrollment, with parents citing Kofi and Kemi's story as inspiration for their kids. Sensei Reed used the moment to advocate for more funding for youth programs, arguing that martial arts could teach kids confidence and de-escalation skills. Kofi and Kemi, meanwhile, continued their training, preparing for a national tournament. They remained vigilant, knowing their neighborhood could still be unpredictable, but they carried themselves with a quiet pride. The alley confrontation, a fleeting moment of danger, had become a turning point, not just for them, but for a community inspired by their courage and skill.